Connecting pieces in jewelry is a huge thing, and that's really how you create things, is by layering different elements on top of others, but how you do it can be different. Hi, I'm Melissa Muir. Welcome back for another Tool Time Tuesday. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about some different types of connections. In this case particularly, we are talking about cold connections or rivets. There are a number of different ways that you can use cold connections: rivets, tabs, stitching, things like that. And then hot connections would include items such as bezels or anything that you need for soldering to bring all of those elements together. So let's talk really quickly about one of my favorite tools here in the studio. Now, there are a number of ways to do riveting, and you don't need much more than just maybe your pliers or your cutters and a hammer plus a bench block so that you can form your piece or get the rivet set properly. But there are definitely a number of tools that are going to help aid you in making this easier. One of my favorite tools is created by an artist named Eugenia Chan, and this is a 4-hole punch that is set to different wire gauges, which is fantastic. So you've got 18, 16, 14, and 12 gauge, and it fits those gauges perfectly as long as your gauges of wire are actually done accurately or properly. So this is a really simple way for you to create holes that you can then insert your items into. Now, another set that I like is Gwen Youngblood's Riveting Essentials Kit, and that comes with a number of tools. We have a small dapping block, which is cute in and of its own self, as well as some spacers so that we make certain that our rivets have enough material left on them so that when we flatten them, they can spread enough without coming back through a hole. In addition, there are 3 punches that come with this, and this is also helpful for creating things like into bezel cups when you need to rivet into a really tight spot. And you can watch my other videos on that. So just look up here in the corner and you'll see the link to that video. So I'm not really going to get into that too much today because we want to just do this really fast and short. But anyway, what I have here is I've got a 24 gauge piece of copper that I have already textured, polished, so it's really ready to go. I'm going to be doing more with this a little bit later, so I don't have a bail soldered onto it or anything else. But in addition, I want to take a couple of little elements here and I want to rivet that into place in the middle of this flower. Now, the rivet head I purchased through people who buy or sell Helby beadsmith types of things. So it's just a decorative rivet that's a little flower. And the little silver flower that I have here as the back plate on this came from Halstead Beads. So it's one of their little items, and the part number is just right there for you. So you can easily see what to order if this is something that you wanted. So I have already created a hole into the silver piece, and I've already pulled my little rivet through, and now I need to put my hole into this piece. And this is going to be accomplished by using this 4-hole punch. I'm using a 16 gauge wire, so I'm going to put this into here. I want this pretty much centered. So you can take the time, eyeball it, or you can mark it, and then I'm just going to screw this down into place. If you have really strong hands, you could probably twist that down, but I need to use this little Allen wrench. So I'm just going to use that. And you can easily tell when you make it through that metal because this gets really, really loose. So what I'm going to do now is unscrew this. And there is my hole now. You can see that. And I'm ready to insert my little rivet onto that. Position my flower however I want that. So now that this is all positioned, you can see all the layers are good. I like it. So now that it's positioned, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over and flare that rivet on the back. However, it is currently too long. And that is where these little spacers come into play. Now, in this case, I'm working with a decorative rivet, so I'm only going to need to just flare the one side. And will it distort this little flower? Probably a little bit. So it just depends on how hard you hit this and what you do with that. But what I need to do is I need to cut this off so that I have enough space. And I really like Gwen's spacers for that, because what I do is I just set it on top, take my cutters, and I'm going to cut that off. And now I am left, see if I can get you zoomed in on this a little bit, but I'm left with just enough material that I can flare this and it will hold the whole stack together in place. Now the hammer that I use to accomplish this is one of my very favorites. This is available out on my website. Very inexpensive, like 12 bucks. And I've polished the tips of mine. You can see that they're nice and polished. But what I do, the reason I like this is because this nice rounded head, both sides, so I can actually get into the really tight spots and do these rivets. But then once I've got this flattened, I can go back around with either side of these hammer heads, because they've got that nice rounded, and I can really lay things down. So what I'm going to do is just ever so gently, I'm going to just tap on the back of this rivet head. You saw I changed the direction a little bit, and that helps me just so that I have an even spread. Okay, now I have gone through and just rounded that down a little bit. I'll show you here what we have so you can get a better idea. And you can see how perfectly round and smooth that is. So part of that is from the hammer, obviously quite a bit with technique that you develop more as you go on. And as far as any distortion, there was just ever so slight of a bit of flattening here on my rivet face itself, but nothing that looks bad at all. So that's how we use this. Very, very simple. I love it. I do a lot of riveting, and I've always done my riveting without any help or extra tools. But since I've received this kit, the Riveting Essentials, it's really my go-to at this point. Now Gwen is actually a darling friend of mine, and one of the things that she has done is she's always been so supportive of me. So when I finally hit my 10,000 subscribers, which I know I'm still small fry for a lot of you out there, but when I hit my 10,000 subscribers, we were all very excited, and I've had a lot of sponsorships that wanted to participate in my giveaway, and Gwen is no different, and she is offering up for a giveaway one of her Riveting Essentials kits. Now, this is going to be shipped for free here inside the United States, but if you're not in the United States, you are more than welcome to enter as long as you agree to pay the shipping. Now, how do you enter? Very, very simple rules. Just one, you need to be a subscriber. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Second, leave a comment just down here in the comment area. And again, just like what we did before, leave your comment, tell me about your riveting, ask your riveting questions or any other questions for that. And then on Friday, the 18th of November 2016, I will announce the winner. Now, because I had to go and hunt for all the winners the last drawing, I'm not going to do that this time. So you must watch and listen for your name to see if you won the Riveting Essentials Kit. So make sure you come back on Friday the 18th to see if you have won. So again, all you have to do, subscribe to my channel, and number 2, leave your comment down in the description and join us as we unveil the new naming of our Friday feature that I have, where I come back and I will answer all of your questions. Good luck, and I will talk to you guys soon.